Travel consideration provided by
What I want, you got it, might be hard.
This season, you can spend less and make holiday dreams come true at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and HomeGoods. With amazing gifts for everyone on your list.
When you can barely smell your plug-in, what are your guests smelling? Try Febreze Fade to 5 Plug. It has built-in technology to digitally control how much scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days.
Happening now.
It's a milestone no one wanted to mark. It's now been 1 year since then 3-year-old Lena Keel disappeared from the playground at her family's apartment complex. The latest on the case and newly released video from San Antonio police.
The United States Supreme Court placing a pause on Title 42, how its expiration could impact areas like the Del Rio sector, and what this area's leadership is saying could be a possible solution coming up.
Just a few days away from the arrival of the Arctic cold front. Talk about when it arrives, how much temperatures will drop, and how it compares to February of 2021. The News at 5 starts right now.
1 year later and still no answers.
Yeah, we're talking about the case of Lena Keel, who disappeared a year ago today. That 3-year-old girl from an Afghan family vanished from her apartment complex's playground right near the medical center.
Garrett Berger shows us new video of Lena recorded that day, just released by SAPD as their investigation now enters its second year.
What you're looking at is the last known footage of 3-year-old Lena Keel. This video taken December 20th, 2021 at the playground from which she disappeared.
She was with her mother and her younger brother. At some point during the video, she walked off the screen.
In a pre-produced video marking the 1 year of her disappearance, San Antonio police say there are suspicious circumstances in connection with Lena's case. They followed up on hundreds of leads, but still none leading to Lena.
We've partnered with other local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies to follow up on all the leads.
San Antonio police declined to talk on camera beyond the video released on YouTube, nor were we able to arrange an interview with the FBI. A nonprofit group, Project Absentis, has also been generating and following up on leads. Its director, retired FBI agent Abel Pena, says there's a high likelihood Lena walked off with someone.
We're not certain whether she walked off willingly, but we do know that she may have been familiar enough with the people that she felt comfortable walking with them.
Rewards offered by Crime Stoppers and the Islamic Center of San Antonio total $250,000. Pam Allen of Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach has stayed close with Lena's family the past year.
They still are standing very firm on their faith and their hope that they're going to hold their daughter again.
But it's hope that's going to need some help.
San Antonio police believe there's a critical witness out there somewhere, someone who must know something about what happened to Lena Keel. And until the young girl is found, they say they can't rule any person or theory out. In the meantime, there's going to be an observance gathering here outside the Old Bexar County Courthouse at 7 o'clock tonight, marking the 1 sad year in which Lena Keel has been missing. Live downtown, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, little Lena is one of ours. Definitely this community is still invested in this little girl. Now, we here at KSAT have been following Lena's story from the day the first Amber Alert went out, and we're going to continue to follow up until Lena is found. You can find all of our past stories on KSAT.com.
Let's head down to the border now, where we are continuing our coverage after the ending of Title 42 was halted temporarily by the U.S. Supreme Court. That order happening just 36 hours before it was set to expire. The Trump-era policy allows the U.S. to limit asylum seekers entering the country. But the move hasn't stopped the migrants from still coming to the border. Jonathan Cotto tonight joining us live from Del Rio. Jonathan, what's the situation looking like down there tonight?
Tim, we've spoken with representatives of this area who are impacted by Title 42 and who are grateful to just have a little more time to get a handle on the influx of migrants. Now, we also spoke with Border Patrol officials who say although the number of border crossings has doubled this year, it's nothing compared to what is being seen in El Paso. But of course, that can all change at any moment. Now, of course, we know Title 42 allows the federal government the ability to stop asylum seekers. This in an effort effort of mitigating the spread of COVID-19. Now, the policy was created under the Trump administration back in 2020. Now, some argue the law is being misused as a tool for deportation without due process. But Congressman Tony Gonzalez, who believes the ending of Title 42 could create chaos in his district. Now, Congressman Gonzalez says, though he holds by them some time, this buys him some time, it's just like placing a Band-Aid over a Band-Aid, and says there must be a solid alternative before Title 42 is lifted.
What could alleviate some of the stress immediately? It's actually fairly simple. Other administrations have done it. Trump administration, the Obama administration, the Clinton administration. It's re-implementing the PACER program, essentially having immigration judges at the border that can get asylum cases heard in days, not years. And if folks do not qualify for asylum, they get sent back to the country of origin. That is the silver bullet.
Now, Tim, this is a bipartisan effort. We also spoke with the Democrat Congressman Henry Cuellar of the Texas 28th District, who says he's been working closely with Congressman Tony Gonzalez on this matter and says he is hopeful there'll be a better plan, a better solution figured out soon. We'll be hearing from him later at 6. Reporting live from Del Rio, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
And Jonathan, thank you for that live report. Let's switch gears now. Today, we found out why wide receiver Joshua Cephas wasn't with the UTSA Roadrunners when they lost 18-12 to Troy in the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl last week.
Yeah, it turns out he had been suspended from all team activities prior to the bowl game following a car accident near the UTSA campus just hours before the team celebrated its back-to-back Conference USA championships with a river parade.
Now, with more on this developing story, we're going to head over to our friend Greg Simmons. So what do you know?
And just to be clear, no charges, no arrests have been made in this incident. The car accident occurred at 3:25 in the morning of December the 9th, 1 week before the UTSA Roadrunners were slated to face Troy in their fourth ever bowl appearance. According to a San Antonio Police Department report obtained by KSAT 12, Joshua Cephas was driving a silver Nissan, was making a turn at Babcock and UTSA Boulevard when he lost control and rolled the vehicle. He was not alone. Teammate Emmanuel Otoloa was a passenger in the car. Cephas was transported to the magistrate's office to provide a blood sample, the results of which are still pending, and later was taken to the hospital for treatment of his injuries. Following the 18-12 loss to Troy, there was no official reason why Cephas did not play in that game. But when contacted today, the university released this statement, and it read in whole: "We are aware of the incident involving Joshua Cephas. We continue to gather more information. In the meantime, per our department policy, he has been suspended from all team activities." Now, after the results of the blood sample are known, it will be up to the district attorney's office to decide if any charges should be filed. How the Spurs broke their losing streak last night. Got that for you coming up in sports.
We'll see you again in just a bit. Thank you, Greg. Some people needing a place to stay tonight after being displaced due to a fire at their apartment. Take a look. That fire broke out just after 1 o'clock this afternoon on Babcock Road near Callahan and Loop 410. Fire officials say originally one unit responded to that scene for a report of smoke, but when they arrived, they quickly found an entire apartment on fire. After a few minutes, more units responded. Fire officials say that fire spread slowly, but due to the layout of the apartment, it was kind of hard to get to. They had to open the ceiling to put the fire out. The Red Cross now helping those who were displaced.
The unofficial start to the San Antonio Rodeo is going to look different this year because Cowboy Breakfast 2023 was canceled. The foundation making that announcement today. Last month, we told you that the annual breakfast was at risk of being canceled because of a lack of scholarships and funding. In a statement, the foundation said in part, quote, "We were unable to meet our timeline to pull the logistics together to implement the 2023 in-person event," end quote.
Weather kind of feeling like the Cowboy Breakfast with that chill in the air out there. 52 degrees right now in Schertz, 55 Leon Springs. But you get under the sunshine. Del Rio at 67, Eagle Pass at 68 degrees. Lavernia, meanwhile, 53 and near 50 in Bulverde and Bernie. And you look at the visible satellite along with the temperatures. Kerrville, Fredericksburg, 47, but then nearly 70 degrees underneath that sunshine closer to the Rio Grande. But this evening, uneventful. Mainly gray, increasing clouds where you've had the sunshine, and fog developing later on tonight. It's going to be more of the same. 40s this evening, near 40 tomorrow morning, fog to start the day. The changes occur on Thursday. Here's the Arctic air. We're going to talk more about this, when it arrives, and what it's going to mean for temperatures and even the wind in just a bit.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the KSAT newsroom, and here's what we're working on right now for the news at 6 this evening. A San Antonio doctor providing an explanation after a scathing review of the medical response to the Uvalde shooting. What is in that review and how that doctor is now responding to that. And with those freezing temperatures headed our way, the San Antonio Zoo is making sure they are ready. How zoo staff plan to keep the animals warm and cozy and, most importantly, safe. Plus, you heard earlier that the 2023 Cowboy Breakfast, it's not happening, but we already have some insight to plans for 2024. What we learned today, that and more coming your way today on the News at 6.
Thank you, Myra. We'll see you then. Children's hospitals across the country are packed right now with patients battling respiratory illnesses. Reports show 74% of the nation's pediatric hospital beds are occupied. And now major pharmacy chains are putting restrictions on some medicines for kids. The triple demic of flu, COVID, and RSV are driving unprecedented demand for children's pain relievers and fever reducers. CVS and Walgreens now limiting the amount of pediatric ibuprofen and acetaminophen customers can buy to prevent stockpiling. Manufacturers are also insisting there is no widespread shortage, saying sales are up 65% compared to this time last year.
2 people are dead, at least 12 others hurt after a 6.4 magnitude earthquake rocked parts of Northern California this morning. ABC's Rena Roy shows us that widespread damage along with the power shortage issues that the area is still facing.
Widespread destruction on the Northern California coast after a 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck near Ferndale around 2:30 this morning.
I woke up and the entire room was just like back and forth shaking.
Up to 80 aftershocks felt, one reported to be 4.6 magnitude. Thousands in hard-hit Humboldt County without power.
This is earthquake country. We do feel a lot of 3.5, 4 earthquakes, but to get a 6.4, it's really significant.
Some homes ripped from their foundations, others up in flames. These storefront windows in Fortuna smashed to pieces. Items scattered at a hardware store in Eureka.
Obviously a relatively strong earthquake, and it was felt widely.
You can see cracks on this bridge in Ferndale, crews shutting it down for safety inspections.
Over Highway 211 at Fern Bridge is closed due to bridge damage.
Officials say several have been injured, but the scope of injuries still unknown.
Right now, we are still doing assessments. We are still, driving around and trying to make sure that everyone is okay. So we're encouraging people to check in on their neighbors, check in on their friends.
Seismologist Lucy Jones explaining how this likely happened.
So this earthquake was probably not on the San Andreas. It's probably on this transform fault that is the boundary between Juan de Fuca and the Pacific Plate. It's a very common source of magnitude 6s and 7s, but offshore, so it's rare that there's much of any damage.
The Humboldt County Sheriff says this is the most significant earthquake the area has seen in about 11 years. Crews now working around the clock to get power back up and running for the thousands who are in the dark. Officials say damage assessment will likely take days. Rena Roy, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now we want you to stick around because coming up, we'll discuss staying warm when temperatures drop. That could become dangerous if you don't do it right. So we're going to discuss the do's and don'ts when it comes to heating your home.
Let's take a quick look at your Tuesday evening commute with your traffic authority. There is a little bit of a slowdown here at I-10 in Culebra there on the upper level. Looks like a tow truck just got on the scene. Not sure if it's an accident or a stalled vehicle, but you can see slow going there as folks head home on this Tuesday.
$52 degrees out there right now. You know, when it's super cold, people get desperate and they use their kitchen oven to heat their home, which is a bad idea. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz shows us a safer way to warm up a room.
Safety experts agree you should never use your range or gas oven as a heater. But a new Consumer Report survey found 1 in 5 Americans with an annual household income of less than $30,000 and who have a gas range say they used it to heat their home in the past year.
Not only is it a fire and burn hazard, but heating an apartment or your home with an oven that's on and open can emit dangerous pollutants and gases into your home.
A gas range or oven used for heating rooms can cause a buildup of carbon monoxide in the house. Besides carbon monoxide, Consumer Reports found that gas ranges can emit nitrogen oxide levels that exceed indoor air quality criteria, especially with no ventilation.
These gases can worsen asthma and lung diseases and increase the risk of asthma in young children.
A safer heating option is a space heater, but choose one with an automatic shutoff in case it overheats or tips over, like this model from Comfort Zone. Space heaters should be at least 3 feet from anything that burns, like bedding or draperies. Extension cords in space heaters are a bad mix. The space heater should be plugged directly into the wall. Also, turn off and unplug a space heater when you leave, and never leave it on while you're sleeping. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All really good advice. Now, here's the thing. There is help out there for people struggling to pay their utility bills. It's called the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, and we have a link to that program on our website, KSAT.com.
Lots to think about as we get ready to deal with some very cold temperatures on Thursday. But right now, folks out there enjoying the 52 degrees and gray skies over at the Pearl, getting in the holiday spirit.
Yes, and I was there actually a few hours ago, and it's nice because a lot of the restaurants there have space heaters outside. So as you're walking through, it's not like you're going to feel the cold that much. But a good friend of mine likes to say something to me, and it is just wait.
Just wait.
Just wait.
It's true. Just wait. Just wait. That is very true in this situation. Main headlines, including the cold headed our way. It's going to be more of the same tomorrow. The cold air arrives Thursday afternoon. So not in the morning, but by the afternoon. And this is not going to be like February of 2021. Let's give you this comparison. And I know you may have seen this before, but we just updated it a bit. So February of 2021, of course, that's first what comes to mind when we think of, hard freeze and temperatures in the teens coming our way. Back then, February 2021, 107 hours straight we were below freezing. This situation, worst case scenario, I think up to 24 hours we could be below freezing. That's it. Also, back in 2021, we had the crippling ice and snow that added to the issues. Here this time around, clear sky, sunshine, no precipitation, and that sunshine goes a long way, especially with rising those afternoon temperatures above average. The coldest we got back in February of 2021, 9. The coldest here will be 18, and that's going to be Friday morning. You look at the colder air, it's off to the north, already creeping into the Dakotas and Montana. But check this out. Dawson Airport, Northwest Territories, 51 below zero. Fairbanks, Alaska at 35 below. Same with other readings in northwestern Canada in the 30s below zero, even Edmonton at 31 below. That's the core of the cold air. That's plunging southward. Of course, we're going to get hit by this Arctic front that's headed our way. And our temperatures obviously aren't going to be as bad as what they'll be up in the Northland, but we're going to feel it, and we'll have our first freeze coming, I think, by about 7 p.m. on Thursday. So let's talk about Thursday. We're going to skip over tomorrow. Tomorrow, just like today. Thursday, we start off in the morning at 44 degrees. By the noon hour, we get into the lower 60s. Actually a warm day on Thursday. But then we get to about 3 p.m. and that's when the cold front moves through and our temperatures quickly and significantly fall off. And by about 7 p.m. Thursday evening, I think we'll be below freezing. And then that sets the stage for the widespread hard freeze on Friday morning. Hard freeze is basically below 28 degrees, okay? So 18 in San Antonio, Del Rio 19, Cotulla down to 24, Junction possibly down into the single digits, Gonzales about 17. And again, this is Friday morning, okay? So we're fast forwarding here a few mornings. Bernie, Bulverde 14 by Friday morning. Not only that, but you're going to feel the wind. It's going to be gusting around 40 miles per hour Thursday afternoon and evening, all the way through Friday morning. It will pump the brakes by Friday afternoon, but Friday morning, with those temperatures in the upper teens, we'll have the wind chill or the feels like temperature at times dipping down into the single digits. Luckily, afternoons above freezing. Friday 36, Saturday we're up to 42, and by Sunday we're up to 51 degrees. Here are the other main headlines as you kind of plan out everything Friday through Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Texas travel, just fine. Nothing but sunshine, dry roads, no snow, no ice, no rain. Can I make that more clear? Afternoons, above freezing. That helps us a lot too, in the 30s, 40s, and then near 50 degrees. Really quick, it's quiet across the state. The rain activities, parts of southwest Florida and the southeastern U.S. And as we go forward, if you're doing some air travel, Wednesday, some issues basically from Iowa, Nebraska to Minnesota. Thursday, those issues around the Great Lakes, Chicago into St. Louis. And then by Friday, those issues are in New England. Here's a look at our forecast. 56 tomorrow, Thursday at noon, 62. Then we drop sharp and fast. And it will be near 20 Saturday morning, Sunday morning 24. But again, those afternoons, sunny and warmer.
That is hot chocolate weather, my friend. All right, thank you.
All right, Greg, the Spurs did not need star Keldon Johnson to keep the Rockets grounded.
Devin Vassell to the rescue, my friends, because he was all in on this one, including from the three-point line when we come back. More about his big rescue last night. And also, it looks like the hopes of signing Odell Beckham Jr. fading for the Cowboys. Coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs were able to snap out of their two-game losing streak when they roughed up the Rockets last night in Houston and climb out of the Western Conference cellar and replace them with the Rockets. And they did it without star player Keldon Johnson, nursing tightness in his right hamstring. As a result, Devin Vassell was the spark plug to open this game, scoring 5 of the Spurs' 6 buckets to get out to a 10-point lead. But the Rockets would outscore the Spurs in the second quarter, 34-25, was newly acquired Stanley Johnson's buzzer beater that got the Spurs within 2 at the break, 62-60. The Spurs responded in the second half, scoring 32 points in each of the third and the fourth quarters, holding the Rockets to just 14 in that third quarter. Vassell, who finished with 26 points, including 5 3-pointers, helped get the Spurs out of a 16-point lead. Jakob Poeltl is just in his second game back from a bone bruise on his right knee, executes the pick and roll, and the Spurs win big, 124-105.
The coaches put a lot of trust into me, and, Pop called my number a good time today. So I'm just glad that he has confidence in me, and, I'm going to try and make the right play every time.
All right, one thing we did notice in the game is that Jeremy Sohan, who's shooting less than 46% from the free throw line, tried a unique one-handed approach at the charity stripe, where his shooting coach, Jep England, when we need him. Oh, that's right, he signed with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So next up for the Spurs will be a road trip to New Orleans. That will be Thursday at 7 p.m.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The possibility of signing free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is now dwindling after he was kept alive by Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. But today he faced the fact the window is closing for the 2022 season. The plan had been, if the Cowboys signed OBJ, he would be placed on the injured reserve list, meaning he would have to miss at least 4 games. There are only 3 games left in the regular season, which means Beckham would not be available until after the wild card playoffs. And when you consider the Cowboys haven't advanced past the divisional round since 1995, he might be available for just 1 game. Jones admitted today in his weekly radio show in Dallas that OBJ becoming a Cowboy is fading.
As of this morning, we don't have anything, but I don't have an assessment. The reality is, though, that time is moving on down the road relative to being playing in the playoffs, and so every day diminishes our chances of getting going forward.
All right, we now have an update on the quarterback for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, coming up at 6 o'clock from his head coach. Don't count him out just yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you. We'll be right back after this.
More of the same tomorrow, 50s. By Thursday afternoon, we're at 62. Then temperatures plummet later on. And by 6 o'clock Thursday, we should be below freezing, feeling the chill. 18 degrees Friday morning, but above freezing by the afternoon. Coming up at 6, we'll talk about the coldest Christmas mornings and how this compares.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for watching the news at 5.
See you at 6.